Thank you for joining our Gates Motion Preventative Maintenance webinar for belts. My name's Rob Michelson. I'm the Belt Product Manager for Motion. In this session, we'll cover synchronous and V-belts, safety, best practices, installation, belt fundamentals, drive analysis, troubleshooting and more. And why? To ensure optimum belt life, reduce maintenance costs, reduce downtime. Gates have a complete hardware and software package to produce the best outcome. Our Gates Drive program deliver all the attributes required to check the health of the drive and optimize the ideal drive solution for the application. Our motion specialists are also well trained on hand, supporting all of our customers with technical advice should you need that post the training session today. The presentation should only take around 45 minutes. There is a Q&A button where you can log on any questions as we run through the webinar. We have allocated 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the presentation to answer as many questions as possible. I'd like to welcome Rosie, who's the product manager of Gates in power transmission, and she'll take us through the presentation today. Thanks, Rosie.
Thank you, and thank you everyone to just join our training section today, which is about safe and maintenance practices, and then how do we follow the best practice for installation and inspections of the belt drive. So the agenda we will cover today, I will talk about a little bit about basics, concepts about V-belts and synchronous belts. We will touch about the safety elements, belt drive inspections, installations, and then tensions and alignment. So these two elements we will talk about our Gates tools available today, storage, and then troubleshooting. Okay, so started with V-belts. So one of the things you need to know on your belt drive when you're using V-belts, so you need to know what type of belt, the characteristic of your belt drive, because knowing these two elements, so you will know what belt is suitable for your application. The benefit of using V-belts, one of the elements that is really important to know if your belt drive is using more than two belts together. So normally different manufacturing brands, you need to ask for them to be matched. For B80 is one of the projects that Gates developed in the 80s, which is your belts, like a classic V belts, narrow belts, are free match. So what does that mean? It means that if you're using 2 or 3 belts, doesn't matter if the belt has been manufacturing today and then 2 years ago. If you're gonna install the belt in the multiple belt drive, so your belts, it will be matched. So this is what it means the V80. We only have one exception, which is the Predator belts, Traflex, and then lawn and garden belts, which is a Kevlar core. So this is the only belt that are not part of this program. So in this case, the belts need to have you see the number on the belt printed, which is in that case is 50, if you see in the picture. So if 2 belts, so your 2 belts have to have the same number. So normally you will come across with codes like 50, 49, 51. So in this case, for example, 50. So if it is tenths of an inch, longer, it will be 51. Or if it is tenth of an inch shorter, so it will be 49. So this is the way you probably will come across with different codes for belt match.
It's a tighter tolerance to normal belts, isn't it, Rosie?
Yes.
Because of the aramid cords or Kevlar cords in the belt itself, in the Predator.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So what do you need to be careful is this, is the code is the same, and then when you ordered it, so you need to have the same match set. But again, I just tell you for different belts like Classic V belt, high power, tri power, or Super HT quarter power 4 is a free match. So you don't need to ask for a match set. Another benefit is the static conductivity. So the definition of a static conductivity is when the belt dissipates charges to the pulley and the ground. So our belts are part of the static conductivity industry standards. So again, it will be pretty much for the same belts, Classic V belts, narrow belts, and light duty belts. And then the section in that one, it will be Predator, Power Rate, and Polyflex. They are not static conductivity. So you need to know these basics things about V-valves for your drive. So installations or inspection of your drive. And then now we come with some basic for our synchronized bell. And what we need to know on your synchronized bell to select a bell, the correct bell, we need to know the different components of the synchronized bell, which is it will be the teeth, pitch, the jacket, landed area, and telsicle. So teeth of the bell, you can get it if you have the length of the bell, and then you have the pitch, which is the distance between the center of the tooth to another center of the tooth. You divided that pitch for the length, so you will have the number of teeth of your bell. The jacket is just a cover of the teeth. Lander area is the flat area between the teeth, and the tensicles are part of the element of the belt, the construction of the belt, which is the element that is transmit the power. So the tensicles. That's why when we talk about cable core or army core, so they are high performance belt. That's why, because the tensile are the element who carry who element who is in charge of transmit the power. Okay, so we were talking about all the rubber product, but we also have our synchronous pulleys and the micro V pulleys that we can offer. We also have eyeless pulleys or flat back pulleys. So different, if we have our standard range, materials and finish. And then if you need anything on customized, we also have the facility to do it. So we have a team which is can produce the drawings, and then if it is a drawing, it's clear, and then because sometimes we get some sketches, so we have to get our team to produce the drawing. So probably that one, it would take more time. But if the drawing is clear, so it could take between 24 or 48 hours to get a quotation, and depends on the complexity of the pulley or its sprocket. It will be around probably a week. So once the drawing is approved, and then everyone is approved what is the customer needed, so we can quote, and then after the quote, so we can deliver the pulley. Also, we have additional service if the pulley need to be dynamic balance, so we can do that as well. Okay. Recently, last year, we have updated our catalog, which is our belt interchange guide. What is this catalog? What this catalog contains is all the information about the sprockets, and then if the sprocket is interchangeable for your belt. What happened over the years, synchronized belt has been changed the profile. So if you see in the bottom of the list, you got our trapezoidal belt. So years and years has been developed a better profile of the tooth. So they have been changed. So before it was trapezoidal belt, and then there were more curvilinear, so which is more the latest version of our timing belt, which is a GT3, GT4, and then poly change. So what happened is sometimes people, because the pulley is normally we don't change that often as the belt. So people, what happens if they upgrade the belt drive to up the latest belt version of the timing pull, sometimes they don't change the pulley. But you need to be careful if the pulley that you are leaving in that drive is compatible with your new belt. So I just do a print screen here of one of the pages of the catalog. And then if you see, for example, on the first one, it tells you that the first one is like 5, 8, and 40 millimeter pitch. And then you have a HDD sprocket and you do a HDD belt, so it will be the perfect fit. But what happened if that person have a F5, the next one on the right, so if the person have 5 millimeter pitch and then upgraded the belt for a GT3, so it won't be recommended to keep the HDD pulley. So you need to change it. But if you are using 8 millimeter pitch and then you upgrade for your GT4, it will be recommended only for a short period of time. So you can do your replacement, and then in your next plan for replacement of the belt, you change the pulley for a better performance. And then this is all the information you got in there. So I'll encourage everyone to check that when you just do your belt drive upgrade. All right. So next slide. We will talk about the maintenance, preventive maintenance. So why we do the preventive maintenance? So especially we do because what we keep in is try to maximize the drive life, the belt drive life. The belts are one of the cheapest element, but time consuming, that could probably can you cost if this one is not installed properly, so probably cost you more money because it will affect more expensive components in your belt drive, for example, bearings or shaft. We try with the with preventative maintenance, try to reduce cost and plant downtimes, increase productivity, and then obviously avoid any catastrophic failure. Also, one of the key points here is that if you in your preventative maintenance, you have a proper installation of the belt, you probably won't have any issue with extra consuming of energy. So you also have your system work with efficiency. Components of a good maintenance programs is we on the program we need to have a safe work environment. We recommended to have regular inspection of your belt drive, a proper installation procedures, also have a knowledge about the products, so BVLs and synchronous belt, have a performance evaluation of your drive, and then troubleshooting. So this next slide is give you an understanding how important it is to have proper installation, maintenance, and then factors that can influence in your belt drive. For example, the orange represents an improved maintenance. So if you don't have a proper maintenance, so you this it will affect a lot for your belt drive. So not having attention, not having a good pulley conditions, it would affect probably 40% of your drive. Improper installation, like a misalignments or not proper extension of your belt, not have the protection of your belt, it will probably cause 30% of your problems. Next one is probably the poor drive design. It is important that for drive or belt drive for equipment as to all, you always have to assess if your current belt drive is still valid, and then for the condition of the drive pulley. So if you, for example, if you are doing if your belt drive is under design or over design based on the current condition. So this is especially for example, drive that has been changed for years, and then you're using the belt that you were using 10 or 20 years ago is still using, probably is not relevant with your new condition of the belt drive. Also environment. So if it is heat, if it is chemical, if it is dusty environment, you need to look after as well. And the last one, but not less important, is how you storage or handle your belts. How many years your belt are in the storage? What is the condition of your belt, a new belt when you store? So it will also affect the performance of the belt.
Rosie, we've got on those as far as the belts or the date of the belt goes, we do have a date stamp on the belt so the customer can check the actual date of manufacture, and then exactly when they need to replace those if they've been in storage for a long time.
Yeah. So thank you, Rob. So good to know is, yeah, we have a traceability when the belt has been manufacturing. And then as a general rule, the belt's rubber is, if it is storage in a good condition, so it will be between 7 to 8 years that the belt is good to go. But this is if you are maintain the proper way to handle the belts, because we will look at after what it can affect on the storage. But if it is like that, so as a general rule, between 7 to 8 years. And then yep.
I was just going to say there's the 4 digits on the belt will give you the week and year of manufacture.
Yes, so it's not easy because obviously this is internal information, but if you just send us the code, so we can tell you when it has been manufacturing, and then what week or month has been manufacturing, and then we can provide what year, so you will know what if it is the belt is good. All right, so safe practice. So it is important to have a safe working environment. So people need to be trained. People always need to check when they do any inspection or installation, the equipment is off. Position of the components, wear the suitable clothes to do the inspection and installation. Have a good access to where the drive is, and then obviously to look at the drive protections of the belt drive. As I said, it's very important to have a clear space where you do the inspection and installation, and then also it's very important we always advise that we need to have our belt drive protected and then in a good condition. So here is just to bring awareness of, you need to understand once you do inspection and installation, to understand policies and procedure, have always a safe behavior, pay attention, don't be distracted, and then don't take a risk or shortcuts that, oh, we need to do this quick, and then probably later it will be not safe what you're doing. Also just be aware of changes and then noise or anything that it can you warning about if it is any risk or issue. Okay, so one of the hazards, or one of the main issue incidents we got is fingers or hands that has put in place when you do installations, and then or when you do an inspection, so people get, can lose the fingers or have problem with the hands. So you need to be careful with that. And then especially, for those big belt drive that you need two people working at the same time, so it could be very dangerous. And then for all components, when the components, for example, like a wheel mill equipment that's by the wind, so they can, even if they are not working, so it is still an inertia in the drive, so they still running. So you need to be careful with that. Part of one of our device, and I'm going to start talking about some of the tools we have available. So one of our device is our berth, which is a belt installation anti-rotation device, which is this is the one, the red one, which it will be helpful for use if you are doing an inspection or you're doing an installation. Just going to run a quick video that shows how to use it, and then how to storage, and then it's really easy to look.
Hi there, I'm Lance Lashney, V-Belt Product Line Manager here at Gates Corporation.
Sorry.
To safely install and inspect a V-Belt drive. I'm emphasizing the word safely here because before today, no product existed to address the risks associated with belt installation and inspection. In fact, that's exactly why we created this revolutionary device called BIRD, or Belt Installation and Rotation Device. BIRD consists of two powerful permanent magnets that you apply directly to the sheave or sprocket for safe belt rotation and inspection. To demonstrate what I mean, let's use BIRD to safely inspect a belt drive. First things first, always turn off the power. Then, lock out and tag out to ensure no one can turn the drive back on. Second, remove the belt guard. Now, to safely inspect the belt and sheave, you'll want to use BIRD. Rather than manually rotating the belt like you might have done in the past and risk injuring your fingers, hands, or arms at the pinch points, you can use BIRD to do the work for you. Simply remove the BIRD from its case, adhere one or both of the magnetic handles to the sheave or sprocket, then toggle the power switch on with your index finger to activate its full magnetic force. With the magnet fully engaged, you can use the BIRD to rotate the belt slowly and safely, inspecting your belt and sheave without the risk of injury. Once you're done inspecting the belt and drive, pull up slightly on the BIRD switch and pull it to the off position. Remove from the drive and place the BIRD back in its case. It's as easy as that.
Okay, yeah. So this is simple. It's a device that we encourage people to have when and then use when you're doing inspection and then installation. So so currently this device it can be available you can get it with our distributor. And then normally this is an item that is on the stock if you need it. Okay, so next we will cover the belt drive inspections, and then we will go deeper for the installation. But at first I'm gonna cover some step about the drive inspections. So sometimes customers have these analytic tools, which it will be helpful to have. This is not part of our range, but I have seen over the years some of them that it can be useful for people. So you have the Trove tachometer, which it can help you for vibrations. the infrared thermometer, which is could be measure some temperature, and then the sound meter, which is it gives you some information about the noise of the bells. And then you have the digital multimeter, which is it tells you how much energy you're getting from the model. So as I said, this is not available in Gates, but I think it could be probably good to show you if you need it for your inspection of in your procedure for your inspection. So a quick checklist. What we should have for inspections is obviously we need to first be sure that the equipment are off, test if they are off, and they be sure, and normally is locked, and then tag that is safe to go. We need to remove protection of the belts, girders, and then after that, so you proceed to inspect the belt. And then on the inspection of the belt, what we're looking is try to see if it is any excessive wear or damage of the belt, which is because this is tell you what you need to be careful next time. And then inspection of the pulley as well, or sprockets. Again, what we need to have is or look at if it is excessive wear or any damage. And then in those cases, if it is signs of excessive wear or damage, so you need to change it. Once you inspect belts and pulleys are okay to go, so you also need to check rest of components of your drive as bearings, shaft, and also the protection of the valve you need to check. Also, you need to, if you need to adjust any tension or alignment of the belt, just do it after you check all the components. And then if you need, sometimes when you adjust, the position of the model, which is give you, some of the model, and then the tension is correct, probably you need to repeat this step a couple of times to get the proper tension, and then also the alignment of the pulleys. Then after that, you just reinstall the protection of the belt, and then just turn it on, and then it started. After you restarted, you need to inspect and see if it is anything like you can listen or look that is not unusual. If it is something that is not looking well, or is listened, you have a noise, strange, unusual noise, so you just repeat your inspection again. So some items that you need to be look after in your inspection, if it is any unusual noise or unusual movement of your components, if it is any damage or dirt around the area, if it is any grease or oil as well. And then also make sure the rest of big components like a motor, they are correct, and then good to go. How frequent you need the inspection? So the frequency of your inspection will depends on couple things, couple elements. So first one is how critical is your equipment, the drive operation cycle. So if your drive have a shock load or a start or stopping, frequent start or stopping belts, if the equipment is accessible, what is the speed of operational speed for your drive, environment factors, temperature, so extreme temperature, and then the drive history. So these all elements, it will define how often do you need to do your inspections. As a general rule, we just say between 3 to 6 months, it will be necessary to do an inspection. So, but again, will depend on the procedure of the preventive maintenance every company have or of plans has. So, but Gates just advise that it could be between 3 or 6 months as a general rule. On your inspections, what do you need to look, for example, on your pulleys and then and your pulleys and the metals elements is if you have any damage. So Gates has the pulley gauges, which is in vivos. You can measure or you can see if it is any wear on your groove. So the pulley gauges, as the picture you see in the picture, so you can measure if it is if it is a damage on the groove. So if you have between 1 and 1.5 millimeter space in the pulley gauges, so it means it's a sign that you need to change the pulley. As I said, normally the pulley you don't change that often, like how you change the bell, but in every inspection it's good to see if it is any damage of the pulley, because that one it will guarantee that the belt performs well. All right.
Sorry, Rosie. Yep. Generally, be the drive pulley being the small one. In most cases, it's a slow down drive. So it'll be the smaller pulley that you check more regularly than the larger pulley. And I think traditionally it's probably about every 3 times you change your belts out that it's more likely that the smaller pulley is going to need replacement as well.
Yeah, correct. Yes, yeah. So in general, but again, it will be depend on the speed. Depends if you have the proper tension and if you have the proper alignment of the pulleys. So this it would cost, if you don't have it, you probably the pulley will have problems.
Yep.
Okay, so next one, it will be belt drive installation. So again, the first steps, we need to turn it off, test, lock and tag to be safe to work with the belt. In general, the basic step for belt drive and synchronized belts is the same. So we start first when you decide to do a belt installation. So obviously you need to move the motor. So you need to just screw it and then get the belt loose, and then you can uninstall the belt. And then it's important to have a better good look of the belt, because if it's any issue in your drive, so the belt it gives you the signs of what do you need later on to look and then repair in your belt drive. So if it is any mark on the belt, it give you a lot of information if you have any issue. Once you get your belts, so you just remove your belt. Please don't use old belts and then new belts in the same drive. So once you decide to install belts, if it is any damage, if one of the belt it looks like it's new, we just advise that you need to change all the belt when it's a multiple belt drive. In the belts installations, so again, inspection, as Rob said, so we don't probably change often the pulley, but you need to inspect the pulleys. There are no any dust. We need to clean any damage of the flanges, any damage of the groove. You need to be sure that your pulley is in a good condition to have new belts. Part of the installation process, we also on your pulley, we advise to have a proper alignment of the pulleys, and then we will look at in the next slides how to do the alignment of the pulley. And then for that, we have a Gates Easy Laser tool, which is help you and then make more easier to do your alignments. Another important element for your installation of your pulleys is if the pulley is not direct mounting in the shaft, but is using type of bush. So you need to have a proper installation of your type of bush. Very important, depends on the size of the type of bush. You have removal holes and installation holes. Sometimes these two are not clear, and then it probably people confuse between one and another, and then that one it causes that you don't have a proper installation. So also if you have excessive torque on those holes, so you probably get damaged your type of bush and then the pulley as well. So I encourage everyone to look at normally the on the type of bush is a procedure that is printed and then put it in each box, so you can look at there, and then encourage everyone to look at this procedure and to know how to install, and then what is the torque value you need to apply. Okay, so on the belt drive installation, as we mentioned before, our classes belts have is part of the program for match sets, but you need to look if more than 2 belts in one drive, you need to look at the match set only on Predator. Also, when you install a new belt, we recommend then use the same brand in the same drive. Don't mix brand, because this is more about the tolerance, manufacturing tolerance. For brands, it could be different. And also don't mix belts, new belts and old belts. So this is all important, we need to look after. Also, when you install the belt, you need to be sure that you have sufficient space to adjust your center distance. And then when you install belt, please never braid the belt, so because it will damage the belt. Okay, on the installation, we talk about tension. We will talk about these two later in the next slices. But on the tension, is it very important to have the proper tension of the belt. Tension has to be, measured when obviously the system is off. And sometimes tension, you run the belt and then you install the belt, you rotate the belt, and then measure the tension with one of those devices. And then sometimes some of the belts, if they need to retension, you can do in 24 or 48 hours. Some belt tensions from us doesn't need to be retention. But some procedures in some companies, they ask to tension. So between 24, 48 hours after the belt is running, so you can retension. Sometimes you have to repeat that check. And if it is not in that period, so any time of inspection, you have to check your tension for the belt. Synchronized belt doesn't need to be retention, and I will show you later where to get those tension values for your belt drive. As a final step, to just check motors is correct, tension are correct, alignments on the pulleys are correct, and then if it is any damage with the protection of the belt need to be changed, please change so, because the protection need to be guaranteed that the belt doesn't have any extra damage, because if the environment is dusty, it will protect the belt drive. After that, if it's all good to go, so you just start again. And then once you start again, you need to see if it is any noise or any vibration that is not usual. And then if it is present, these two, so you have to check if your installation has been done properly. Okay, so we will go now in more details about tension values. How to get the tension values? We'll have a program called the Design Power software, which is help you to tell you what is the value. So these two, the Design Flex module and Design IQ, it help you to guide you what it will be the value. So this program, you can download it in our website, so it's free. And then depends if it is 2 points drive or multiple points. So you use for 2 points the Design Flex, and then multiple points you use the Design Power IQ. So a proper tension is critical for obviously just to have an adequate valve friction and to prevent any slippage of the valve. For the tension is one of the factors for transmit the power. So the factors of pulley diameter, speed, and the width of the belt. So it will be part of the factor for how do you find the tension of the belt. If it is the belt is under tension, over tension, in both cases you will have problem. Sometimes people say, oh no, let's just just to put more tension of the belt, but the over tension, it probably cause a premature stretching of the belt or reduce the belt's life. But under tension as well, it will cause you problem like excessive hits. You probably lose, will have slippage of the belt and excessive pulley wear. So you need to be sure all these two elements are correct.
Yeah, Rosie, I'd just like to add to that the when putting the details into the program, once you download it online, we do need to know need to install the kilowatts, RPM, current pulley sizes, belt section, number of belts, belt length, and from that, then the program will give us the exact tension details required. The importance of that is that it also analyzes the drive as to whether it's oversized or undersized. If it's undersized, the belt's going to slip. If it's oversized, well, then that could cause vibrations and a poor performance. So undersizing and oversizing is just as bad as each other. We want to get the drive designed to exactly its optimum performance. So right in the middle, right in the sweet spot. So that's why we use the programs, and that's why the accuracy of the tension is also critical to give it the best possible life.
Correct. Yeah. Thank you, Rob. So, and then the same situation for synchronous belt. So if it's under tension or over tension, so if you have under tension, you will have tooth wear of the pulley, reduce the life of the belt. If it is over tension, again, is the belt it will wear, increase the noise of the pulley, increase the noise of the drive. So one on another, so we need to be careful of not under tension or over tension the belt. What is the method to do tension? So it's two methods. So we have the sonic tension method, and then we have the forward deflection method. You can use one or other, depends on what do you have, what tools you have accessible in your workshop. However, we recommended to use the sonic tension as a more accuracy method. So for the pen, which is called, what do you measure there is the deflection force. So you have an element like you have deflection distance, with this is the one that you can read in the report coming from the drive design program, and then you measure the deflection force. So next one, it is a video like it show how to do it. So as you see, so the person is having like two drive in there, and then is using a pen. So what you need to first, you have the pen have two O-rings, and then what you need is to adjust. Well, is two ones. So you have the first one in which 15 kilos or 30 kilos. So what do you measure is the deflation distance and deflation force. So it's two measurements there. We, as you see before, so the design power gives you the values of the tension, and this is what you need to check on the report. So to use this, you set it up as a 0, the O-ring on the top, and then you put your deflection distance on the bottom. And then once you got there, so you just use, in that case, it's using a rule, but you have to have like a reference. Where do you need to move? So you just press down until reach the first ring, and then you measure the deflection force on the top. If you're using two variables, so you apply just the same procedure. So if you're using two bells, you can use one of the bells as a reference, and then do the same procedure for each bell. So you adjust your first O-ring, and then you will measure the force. So if your force is bigger than the recommended value, so you have to decrease the tension, and if the force is less than recommended value, you have to increase your tension. So yeah. So basically, this is hang on, give me one sec. Let me stop this. Okay, basically this is what it is, and then you have the barrel, you have the 15 kilograms, and then you have the 30. Okay, as I mentioned, how much if it is correct. So this is where you can look at on the program, on the once you run the calculation based on your RPMs, based on your pulley sizes and belt length. So you will have the tension that you need to apply to that drive. You need to know that every belt drive is a unique tension. For before, I guess in the past, it was like a rule, like, all right, if it's a belt, it's A, B, and C. It was a general rule about tension, but I encourage everyone to go in the program and put your belts parameters, and then it gives you more accurate what is the tension you need to apply. Using the sonic tension, it is this device, which is, it comes with a flex sensor. So this is what is come. But if it is, if you have an environment which is noisy, and then you couldn't, because the sonic tensions use frequency. So if it is noisy, probably that one, it could be affected by the noise. So you can use an extra accessory, which is the inductor sensor. So, and then this is for noise or windy environments. As you see here, so on the left, so you have values for the tension. So if you see, you have hertz, or and then this is what you need to measure on the value that you need to mention, see in your sonic tension. The sonic tension doesn't give you what is the value of the tension. So again, I repeat, so you need to go to the program, run the calculation, and get the value. So once you got the value, so for example, in that case, 41 or 42 hertz, this is what your sonic tension have to be, had to measure. So to be used is very easy. Another thing is because every belt or what is the parameter you need to put in when you start using the device, you need the mass, the width, and the span of the belt. And then the program will tell you that parameters. So it will be on the left side of the report. So you have the mass of the belt for that particular example that is on the left. So you will see the mass is 135. The width is 1 millimeter and the span is 1016 millimeter. So once you put these parameters, so just print the bell and then measure measure the frequency of the bell. In here, so you read once you sprint the bells, so you measure and then you will have the measure in hertz, and then the sensor need to be close to the bell. So in that case, the sensor need to be around 1 millimeter close to the bell, and then you will get the proper reading of the frequency. If you know octane, sometimes the reading is because probably the tension is not correct. So you need to adjust the tensions and then see what is the error in the device, and then adjust the belt and then do the reading again. Sometimes you don't obtain the readings is because, as I mentioned before, it is the background where you're using the sonic tension is noisy, so you probably have to change your accessories. So the number 4 is the one, the inductor sensor. So that is, it is allow you to read, to have a better rate of the frequency when it's a noisy. Or it's a windy environment. Now we're gonna go to alignment of the belt, the pulleys, sorry, and then how to do the alignment. So normally we advise the customers to use our laser alignment tool, but we know that sometimes people doesn't have that. So sometimes people use the method of a straight edge, which is less accurate, but still, valid in some of the plans. But for accuracy, so we just recommended our alignment tool. So what are you looking in here? It's just to have 4 contacts between your driven and driving pulley. And then in those cases, we just, emphasize that two of these images are incorrect because the pulley are not aligned. So you will have a lot of problem with that. This is a correct way to check if you use a straight edge to have a 4 point of contact. However, this is not as accurate like if you use the alignment laser tool. So our alignment laser tool, so we have the one on the left, which is the easy alignment green, and then you have also available the easy alignment XL, which is the one that you can install direct on the pulley. So the concept and how to do is the same for both of them. So you will have a transmitter, which is the one normally is installed in the driven, and then you have the reflector, which is has the mirror. So the way to install is that the reflector always have to be in the motor, which is the one you adjust to get the align, and then the transmitter have to be in the driven. So just a quick way to remember. So mirror, motor, and motor, and then you can move the motor. So the mirror have to be in your motor size. So for the easy alignment XL, the concept is the same. So you can install this one in direct on the shaft, or you can install it in the pulley. Concept of how to do the alignment is the same for the first one. What are you looking on your alignments? So you need to have both the laser lines, aligned in the center. So this is the signs that your pulleys are aligned. What do you have? So I will start it from the right side. So the different misalignment you can have in the system. It could be angular misalignment when the first from the right side. So you see that the lines are not just in the center. So you can also have a parallel misalignment, which is if you see your shaft is parallel, but they are offset. So again, the lines are not in the center. Or you can have on the left, very left, it is the second plane angular misalignment, which is the mix of the two of them. So this graph here, it will probably tell you the different ones and the mix of them. So, and then what is the correct alignment. Belt drive for V-belts and synchronized belt is very important to have the alignments because, for example, on timing belts, the tracking of the belt is normally caused because you have a misalignment on the belt, on the pulley, sorry. Okay, just in another device is available is our draft guard, which is anti-rotation device. Normally used on fans applications, and this is a picture of how it's used. So this is a picture for a fin fan. However, our draft guard is using for all fans, especially in gas and oils industry. This device is just to prevent what the advantage of this device is just to prevent the movement of the pulley when it's off, when the system is off. Sorry. Avoid any damage of the motor or bearings because what happened is on the fin fans, for example, so because the reverse winds on the drive, it causes, the movement of the drive. So once you put it started on your drive, so it will cause movement on your motor, so which it will be damage your motor. In the next two videos, is explained the movements. So for example, in this one, the first one is when the fin fans is just stop, but the winds, the reverse winds, it causes movement. So to stop that and change it, so normally people use, use a device just to stop, which is not safe. And then also it will cause problem on your pulley or your belt. So this is the first one. So this is using for your the picture on the right. So you can see once you install that, you just avoid the movement of the reverse wind. So on the second one is just to prevent the brake during the startup of the motor. So if you see, so the ones is not using the draft car, once you want to start it, it is a start of the motor. So that movement, it causes problem with your motor. So if you have the rough car, so you will avoid that movement in the motor, and then you just ensure that your motor have a better life. So it's 3 ways to for mountains for these draft cars. It could be using a type of bush, using a QD bush, or direct to the shaft. So all these 3 are the different methods you can install. And then obviously it will be depends on what you got, so it's really easy to install or to one of those different methods. Components, if you're using a type of bush, so normally the standard is coming for the 30-20, 35-25, 35-35, and the 40-30. But again, this flange, the components are the arm, which is the clutch, and then you have the flange, and then if it is the fans or that drive have extend shaft, so you can use a spacer, and the way you attach, if on the arm you attach the flange in your pulley, and then the clutch it will be on the shaft, and then obviously the arm, which is will be attached to the safety part of the drive. So this it will allows the drive not to move to when is off the motor. This is the flange configuration. The standard one, as you see, is QD bushes or type of bush. Again, so if you need a different configuration, so this can be customized as well. So the basic one is, as we mentioned, we have these type of bush sizes, but if you need a different one, so it can be customized as well. Okay, last point here to mention is about the storage. It's very important the belt's life, on the belt life, to our belt have the proper storage. So we need to ensure that the belts are in a cold room or warehouse, a dried space. Temperature have to be for around 24 degrees. The humidity, what we recommend is 70. The belts shouldn't be exposed to a direct sunlight. And then also the belts, we try not to creep the belt, especially for the synchronized belt. So this is one of the examples. Sometimes people damage the synchronized belt. So we recommended, for example, 8 or 40 millimeter pitch, not to have 3 or 5 inches of for bending the belt, and for back bending is 8 millimeter pitch, 5 inches, and then 40 millimeter pitch is 10 inches. So again, this is really important when you also storage your belt, or when you package your belt to a customer. This is a really good example of sometimes people just package the belt. So this is a synchronized belt where the belt is not good. So how the way it is delivery, this in this way. So what's happened here is the synchronized belt is like has been stressed. So the tools of the belt are under stress. So once you probably wants to store this belt, so the life of the belt probably won't be the what is supposed to be, because the tooth has been under stress, and then the belt probably has been stretched because the way they delivery. So we need to be careful of that. Okay, so on the troubleshooting, so basic techniques on the troubleshooting, it will be you need to check in your drive if the change if it is any change in your maintenance staff, very important. If it is a service life different, also you need to change if the environment have been changed where your belt drive is located. If the motor size, if the condition, or if the parameter of your belt drive have been changed. And then if your output parameter has been changed as well. Again, is sometimes belts, you upgrade your belt, but you need, once you upgrade your belt, you need to test if that belt, it will be performed based on your new parameter, especially for those machines that are really old. So always check that. Also on a good technique for troubleshooting, you need to check if it's that, how often is that failure. And then if these failure have been occurred before, check what maintenance procedure you have for that drive, and then what tools are available. And then if your people are trained how to use it.
I think with the expected life of a belt, generally if the belt's selected correctly according to the programs and the application and hours a day, generally there's a design life of around 25,000 hours, Rosie?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So that equates to probably 4 or 5 years continuous life or continuous running. So if a drive's been in operation for 4 or 5 years, it's probably going to get close to the end of its life, and it needs probably more care and inspections to double check to see how the drive's performing.
Yeah. So yeah, we use 24,000 hours as a basic rule, but again, this depends if your rest of your condition of the belt is correct. If you have a proper protection of your belt, if the tension is correct, and if your alignment is correct. So
Yeah.
if you have in a belt drive, you have the alignment is not correct, the belt, it will be fail before the what is supposed to be.
Yeah, so I suppose it's also on the other hand, if a customer's not getting, if he's replacing the belts every 6 months or 12 months, well, that's where we do need to get in and have a look at the drive and see where the error's occurring. There must be something in the selection.
Yeah, this is bringing you my next point, like identify the symptom. So for the step, you need to identify what is caused you the problem, what could be the cause of that belt failure, and then after that, so you need to obviously take some correction actions. To help with that, so, we have available, so you can ask your distributor for motion for a belt failure analysis sheet, which you can have in your workshop. It gives you a good guidelines. So if you have any failure, what can be caused that failure. We also have a preventive maintenance manual, which is to give you step by step. Some of the point I already touched in that this training. How do you do your installation of the belt and then your pulley? And then also you have from Motion, you have qualified applicants engineer that can help you with any installation or any inspection of your belt in case of you have big problems. And then calculation as well for your belt drive. Okay, as a summarize, so this is all the tools I have presented today. So all these tools will make your life easy to install, and then guarantee your belt it will last longer or will last the belt life, and then perform really well. So any of them you can just get it from Motion. And then we also have we can sell this individually, or if you want the kits, so we can have the kits where you have the alignment tool, and then you have the pencil tensile to measure the tension, and then your sonic tension meter. So this is the end of the training. Sorry that I took up probably a little bit longer than what I expected, but I guess this is all the complete training about this preventive maintenance training.
So we've gone over time. Really do apologise for that. Chevlin, have we got time for Q&A, or should we just send that out to all the participants? Yeah, we'll just send that out to everyone. So first of all, I'd like to just thank Rosie for all the presentation, and thanks everyone for attending. Great to have so many people online, so that's terrific. A copy of the webinar will be sent to everyone, along with the Q&A. If you've posted some questions, we'll get back to everyone with the relevant answers. And also bear in mind, if you have any issues or any problems on any of your belt drives, you want some more clarification from us, just contact our power transmission specialists at Motion Australia. Just like to say thank you again for joining our webinar, and look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.